Welcome back, guys, or if you're new to my channel, this is Automotive Anonymous, and this is the first video introducing my brand new Toyota RAV4 Hybrid. This one specifically, it's an SE trim level. It has the hybrid powertrain, it has heated seats, and it has a couple other fun features that I get to show you guys today. I just sold my 2022 Subaru Outback Wilderness, which I've owned for over 3 years, and I'm excited for the next journey, the next platform. Part of the reason I decided to buy this is because it is the #1 selling crossover most model years in most of the world. They sell about 1 million of these every single year. So we're gonna do a quick introduction to this RAV4. It's in silver, of course. If you guys know me, you know I like silver and black. Anyways, guys, I would so much appreciate it. If you get anything out of this video, please consider liking it. Comment your thoughts and opinions below. Subscribe if you haven't already. Otherwise, huge thanks to the Peterson Auto Group for hooking me up on this one. I will link them below if you're interested. Otherwise, let's get right into it. And while the first day you own a vehicle is usually the prettiest it's ever gonna look, because it's clean, it's sparkly, it's shiny, the tires look brand new, they've been shined up, and the wheels have no scuffing or road rash, I actually think in just a couple days, this is gonna look a whole lot better when I visit the Tint Lady in Southern Idaho and she puts some tint on the front windows. I think it's gonna look great. And if you guys are anywhere near Southern Idaho, definitely check her out, because if you reference my channel or my videos, or just say the YouTube person sent you, she'll give you a pretty substantial discount. In addition to doing really fast work with her and her team, and you can even watch them do it through a window. I've personally never waited more than about half an hour to have windows tinted, so I can't recommend her enough, but more on that later. And I can't wait to show you guys the finished product in a future video coming soon. This is going to be a fun one because this is the first time I have owned a hybrid. I've owned a V8 before, an LS engine. I've owned a couple supercharged V6s, a Turbo 4, some other 4 cylinders, but I've never owned a hybrid before. This is the A25A engine. It makes 219 combined horsepower and somehow only about 163 pound-feet of torque. But still, in my testing on other ones, they do about a mid 7 seconds here to 60. They're supposed to get about 40 mpg. And on the drive back home today, driving maybe 150 miles, we are going to test it out and see what it does. But also, I'm going to compare it to what my Outback Wilderness did with the 2.4-liter turbo, which was on my drive here. So I'll probably post that video maybe tomorrow or within a couple days so we can see what the MPG difference is between the hybrid 4-cylinder and the turbo 4-cylinder. And while I'm sure some of you guys are very excited to get to see how this does in my similar testing to what I did with the Outback, I know some of you guys might be a little bit disappointed because it's not a Subaru, but I'm sure there'll be more in the future. You guys know I'm always planning to film and record a lot of them. So there are definitely some trade-offs before we go into the interior. This is a compact crossover, so it is a slightly smaller vehicle than what the Outback was, roughly a foot shorter, but ultimately the cargo capacity is only down by a few cubic feet. Unfortunately, the cargo capacity in this is slightly less useful because it does have to go higher up, blocking your vision of the rear view glass, basically, compared to the extra length that the Outback had. You didn't have to stack stuff quite as high, but still, it's gonna be fun. It's all under warranty, it's all brand new. And since these came out in 2019, for 2025, we are now in what, like the 7th model year of this. So it's gonna be interesting to see how it does. This does just have the electronic all-wheel drive system. It's probably gonna need better tires pretty soon, but I'm also excited to let you guys know in snow, on ice, in cold conditions, how do the factory tires work on this, which is the Dunlop. I think it's is it the PR20? I'll overlay on the screen what this one specifically is. But also with better tires, do you actually need a Subaru? Do you actually need all-wheel drive that's mechanical? Or can an electric motor in the back do enough? We're gonna find out pretty soon. This one does have the power liftgate package with the sunroof. Wasn't necessarily something I had to go for, but it's just what they had available. This is a Japanese built one. These are built in Canada and Japan, and 2025 model years are coming out right away. It is powered, it looks like on both sides, so that's pretty cool. And you do have quite a bit of storage back here. It does have the privacy shade, which thankfully is kind of out of the way. I don't necessarily love those. I never really use them. And then this one just has a temporary spare tire down here with all the tire changing tools and the scissor jack extended out and ready to go. This one can't lock and lower, but it can just lower. And you can see that if it was a non-hybrid, or sorry, a non-powered liftgate, you have a handle on each side. You guys know me, or if you do, you know I don't like the bums siphoning your fuel. So thankfully the gas door is locking. There's a little button on the inner footwell of the driver's side that unlocks it. But getting into the back of this is also going to be an area that maybe is a little bit of a compromise compared to the Outback, but still much better than the average car, and honestly much better than I personally need. The door does not nearly open as wide as a Mazda or a Subaru, but still, if you need more room than that, I don't know what to tell you. That is plenty of room. It's just not quite as convenient as the larger opening doors on some of the competition, but still you have plenty of room on the back seat. So even though this is a compact crossover, you really don't have to worry too much. You can see car seats fit in here just fine. There is a bit of a hump for the middle seat because of the non-transmission tunnel, non-drive shaft, but with all the electronic components, but still ventilation, there's some plug-ins, fold-down armrest. You still have plenty of room. The windows are also not as big as something like a Forester, but they're still big enough. You can see just fine through the back seats of your Toyota RAV4. And it does have a camera for the adaptive cruise settings. It does have the baby-sized or the sedan-sized sunroof, not a panoramic one. And then it has lowered roof rails. I specifically didn't want to pay for one with crossbars because you can get those cheaper than the $400 they're sold for in the aftermarket world. But overall, I think it looks pretty nice. Silver and black, not a bad combination. What I like about this is, just like my Outback, it does have turn signals on the mirror. It does have blind spot monitoring, and even my last Toyota Tacoma had heated mirrors, which I don't necessarily know that my Subaru did. I never really noticed it, but also most of the time it was parked inside. Which, by the way, if you guys want to buy my Subaru Outback, you can find it at the Peterson Auto Group online. It's a 2022, and they're probably going to give you a really good deal if you do it. Just reference that you found it on a YouTube video. Otherwise, the door panel, basically all the same, kind of the hard touch materials, but are they going to age really well? Are they going to last a long time? You bet your sweet bottom they are. You also have a bottle holder. I actually have a bottle for an example today. Small snack pocket speaker. The speakers actually sound better than I was expecting in this. Nothing on the door sill. This one, just like a lot of them, has a 900-pound payload rating. And you can see it's just a temporary spare tire. Otherwise, heated cloth seats on both sides, but only the driver's side is powered. You have all-weather mats on this one, dead pedal, all the same things you'd expect to see, and this is what the SE comes with. Heated steering wheel, that's the first time I've ever had one of those. Some storage, lighting stock, which, by the way, let me show you how those LED headlights do. They were updated in, I think, 2022 with the refresh. So it is, oh, I guess it's turned off right now. So we're gonna have to play around with that, and I'll show you around in just a second. But sitting inside of this thing, at 5'11", I think it's gonna do a really good job. I think it's gonna be a nice vehicle. Sorry guys, my mistake. I did not turn the headlights on all the way, so I'll just overlap on the screen what that looks like. Otherwise, it's a cloth steering wheel. The rear view mirror goes right down the back, so I can check out that third generation Tundra right there. Otherwise, this is a really nice vehicle, and I'm excited to share a lot more with it. This is also, I think, a 32-ounce cup, so you guys can kind of get a reference of how things are placed. And surprise guest, the backpack is here. Well guys, this is my introduction to my brand new RAV4 Hybrid. It's different than anything I've owned before, but different is sometimes good, and I just need something different right now. So I think it's gonna be really fun to showcase this for you guys, film a few different tests and videos over the next couple years, and I'm especially excited to see what kind of MPG we actually get on the way home. These are rated for, what, 38 on the highway, and that's highway speed, not interstate. I'm hoping I get maybe 33 or 34, but that video will be out soon. Anyways, guys, huge thanks to Peterson Auto Group, Peterson Toyota specifically, for giving me such a good deal on this brand new one, and for giving me a good deal on the trade-in on my Outback. If you want it, it's been well maintained. It's a pretty cool vehicle. It gets pretty good MPG compared to some of what I've heard from you guys on the comments below. And anyways, see you guys.